Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the PHNX Suns podcast. I'm Lindsay. That's Saul. That's Gerald. That's Espo. And Friday got a lot more fun now that this show has popped off. We're going to have to wait until towards a little bit closer towards the end of the show.
Yeah, the rest of it's going to be boring, but the end, stick around.
But when we talk about bread,
I mean, Jesus, I literally feel like I'm on death row right now, and I just been given my last meal, and I'm just walking down the hallway waiting to be executed. That's how much I'm looking forward to the end of this show.
So dramatic. I think it's going to be a blast. And it stemmed from the Discord. So I think you guys will enjoy it as well. We got a fun thing at the end of the show that's like fun as in like chaotic, right?
Yes.
We do have fun stuff planned for you ahead of that, but that's going to be the chaos. But are you guys excited?
I'm excited.
Yes, I actually did a big board this time, like fully researched big board in order, not just here's a list of things that maybe I'll pick or not. No, I'm all in this time.
Oh, I know what I'm selecting.
It's right here. I did it.
These guys are ready.
Yeah, look at that.
Heyo, I put a list on my phone.
We are ready.
I came up with something.
Thank you for catching that.
All right, before we get to the bread conversation, we do have a lot of Suns things to get to talk about here. As we have been for the last couple of weeks, we've been taking a deep dive into the newcomers and the re-signees for the Phoenix Suns. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Josh Okogie. Josh Okogie, of course, was one of just 2 free agents that the Suns brought back from last season. He's on a 2-year contract with the second year being a player option. We know a lot about what Josh brings to the table and what his weaknesses are. I think the biggest strength we can all agree upon is the point of attack defense. But then the 3-point shooting is a little
sus
up and down.
Yeah.
I think sus is the fair way to say it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I would even say it was below average outside of like a month and a half streak that he had December to January. Outside of that, he was pretty anemic from 3, unreliable, more importantly. And that's in this offense with these guys, and you saw it in the playoffs, that's what's got to change. If he wants consistent minutes over other guys that might be able to not drop off as much on the defensive end and give you more on the offensive end, he's going to have to play better and he's going to have to shoot better. But, you know, we talked to him at Summer League and he talked about that was a major point of emphasis for him this offseason, and he's focused on it. And he's shooting every day. And hell, if he could shoot like he was doing in the AEBL, he's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weird things where you look at his season in October through December, shot 24%. January through February, 42%. And then March, the rest of the way, was 32% again. So he did have a career best season from 3. That was a very low bar for him to clear. But it is one of those things where come playoff time, if you go back and look through the film of the threes he was getting, defenses weren't even bothering to like contest near the end. And that's a problem. And that's something that they'll need him to make those shots.
It was like one of those, all right.
Right. I think Jamal Murray and one of them literally like waved him off and ran to the basket to get the rebound. Like those are the plays that the Suns will need him or whoever is in his place to hit. And it's one of those things where if you look at the Suns' goals for next season, I think there needs to be a split between regular season and playoffs, because I do think for the 82 grind of a regular season, for building chemistry, for not putting as much on the plates of Booker and Beal, you can make a strong case for Okogie being the 5th starter just because he will guard opposing point guards that you probably don't want Booker or Beal to have to worry about. You also then don't have to worry about him sharing the floor with Jordan Goodwin when they occupy a very similar role in terms of kind of non-shooters, defensive pests in the backcourt. But I think playoff time, you could very much make the case that like you should start KBD or maybe somebody else if he's incapable of knocking down those shots that really hurt you in the playoffs last year.
What strikes me with him is how young he still is. He's 24. So there's still room for growth there. I mean, I don't think he'll ever become a consistent 42% shooter like we saw in that stretch. But even if he gets to that 35 mark this year, that makes it palatable to have him out there in those open situations. And his defense is exactly what this team needs at the point of attack, like you're talking about. They need a guy that can shut people down and he was fantastic at it. Your piece goes into great depth on that today, Gerald, and there's that video clip in there of him poking the ball away, getting steals, being a real pain in the ass to the guy he's defending. And I think this starting lineup needs that kind of attitude this year.
I do want to take a moment to apologize to Lindsey for stealing your moniker halfway through the season and saying he was a knockdown three-point shooter, because I do feel like
And then jinxing him.
the moment we did that and embraced how great he was, he absolutely started tanking.
He really did.
So, hey,
Yeah. It was disappointing.
that one's on me.
Honestly, like it was, I will say though, even though it didn't last as long as we would have liked, it was a fun period of time.
Yeah.
And it was also extra fun because we were missing our star player in Devin Booker at that point in time too. So we were already a little hurt. So having Josh Okogie pop off in that way, even if it was just for a month and a half or so, was still really fun to see. But Espa, to your point about him being so young and maybe potentially still seeing a little bit of growth in his game, that was something that he did talk to Saul about at Summer League. Josh Okogie said when he was looking around as far as teams, long-sided was kind of what he was going with in terms of a place that he can grow with. He said, I felt like there was no better place for me than Phoenix, and it really made it that much easier to know that they were as excited in me as I was in them. And so it's obvious that the two of them are hoping that he can continue to grow within who he is as a basketball player. And Gilbert in the chat also brought up an interesting point too. And I don't know if you guys agree or not, but Gilbert said Monty's short leash completely made his confidence disappear in the playoffs. The dude didn't even want to take an easy floater and passed it up. Do you feel like that might have, because this was Josh Okogie's first introduction into starting with such high caliber players at that point too?
I don't think it's necessarily that. I will say, listen, we've gone at length about the inconsistency Monty had regarding his bench and certain players, even in DA to a certain degree. Like, and I wasn't happy with that. I could see how it would screw up your head when you've been the starter for most of the season as that fifth starter, and then you get to the playoffs and boom, game one, we're gonna do Torrey instead. Like, I could see how that would screw you up. And then the next series, you're back to being the starter. That would kind of make things a little wonky, but I don't think that was the only reason, because he hadn't been playing very well for a long stretch on the offensive side before they even got to the playoffs, even after they got KD and he had even more wide open shots. So that's on him. Like, he's got to perform at a better place. I will say, I was literally just about to say, I mean, he probably stayed too because he was like, well, maybe I can get more consistency out of the next coach. That could have been a factor, but that wasn't the total reason why I think he was inconsistent last year.
Gilbert brought up the mask in the chat too. Gerald, I'm disappointed you didn't go into specific stats with and without the mask, but I did want to bring up one thing.
Mask his deficiencies. That's why.
This guy.
Wow,
look at this guy.
Gerald's rubbing off on you there, man. I do want to say this, and I'm not happy about this when it comes to Josh Okogie. Did you see the Suns' Instagram stole the Phantom of the Footprint, which started here? Let's make that very clear. And they used that on their Instagram a couple weeks ago.
You should be
happy.
flattered.
No.
They embrace
it's like my
the
child
show.
stealing stuff from me, because I helped launch those accounts, and then
Does Ro often steal stuff from you?
Not yet, but when she grows up,
how do you know that's what it feels like?
I'm just imagining that's what it feels like.
He just wants his proper credit for the name. That's all. His royalties.
I've been washed away from all that. No,
well, I mean, someone brought it up in the chat though. Like, in terms of him struggling to adjust from being a starter and then being demoted for the first round, like, we can't overlook the fact that Torrey Craig was great in that first round. Like, it was a good adjustment. I do think it probably played a role in Okogie struggling when he was inserted back into the starting lineup. But I think part of it is he gets a lot of his energy from the defensive side of the ball. And Jamal Murray was just on a heater in that playoff series. Like, the Suns held him to his least efficient series during the Nuggets championship run. But, like, he had a couple of games where he went off where Okogie was unable to make his normal impact against a player of that caliber. And that, I think, is where he kind of lost his confidence. Is the defensive side of the ball is supposed to be my haven. That's where I get going. That's where I get amped up. And when he couldn't do that, those threes suddenly seem a lot harder to knock down, I think. So that's something that he'll need to get back to if he does win the starting job or if he's coming off the bench.
Well, and
this year.
that would have been Josh Okogie's first legitimate experience within playoff basketball in the NBA, right? So whether it had to do with him starting then not starting, not necessarily having as much success defensively, in addition to those things, it could have also just been nerves. You got a lot of pressure on your shoulders now. You're in a place that you've never been before, and you're trying to navigate all that comes with that. And he had a heavier load to carry than I think what maybe he even anticipated at the beginning of the season he would carry. I mean, I know he talked openly about thinking that he has the ability to be a starter in this league. I don't know that many NBA players wouldn't have that sort of a mindset in the first place, but he is younger and that was his first go at it. So I think there's a lot to be said there. And hopefully he learned a lot from that too for this upcoming season.
Yeah. Secure My D in the chat says Okogie starting is a failure. I'd love to hear why Mike feels that way. But as a group, do you think he's that fifth starter? We talked about KBD earlier in the week, and we look at Okogie. I think those are the two logical options there. Is Okogie's defense enough to make you guys feel like he should be the starter there?
So I think it's going to come down to whether Okogie can shoot well enough from three or KBD can prove that he can guard ones to win that starting job. Because we talked to Tom Petrini, who's a Spurs writer and reporter, earlier this week, and we asked him, can he be counted on to guard ones? Like, can he guard Steph Curry and John Morant and these guys? And he was kind of like, you can switch him on to him, but I don't know about like full time. And I think that in the playoffs, you can utilize that. You can utilize a guy who has the length and the switchability to maybe make up for those possessions. But over a full 82 game grind, I don't know if that's the role that you want KBD in. And again, if you have Okogie coming off the bench, there's some overlap in terms of what he does with Jordan Goodwin. And I don't know, you're going to stagger the bench guys with your big four or your core four or whatever, but that's two non-shooters sharing the floor at the same time, and they fill kind of the same role. I feel like Okogie, even if you're a little undersized with those three in the backcourt, he's got the wingspan, the athleticism to make up for that. He brings what you want defensively. And offensively, it's not like he just is going to get open threes. Like, he's a pretty good cutter. He's good as a screener. They experimented with that a little bit. And he's huge on the offensive glass in terms of generating extra possessions. Like, he puts rim pressure. He gets to the rim. He gets to the foul line. He's physical. They could use a little bit more of that. So I do think when you add that with his defensive metrics, like 99th percentile in on-ball perimeter defense, he can't be overlooked. I don't know that he's going to win the starting job, that he's the right answer as a starter, but I'm definitely not just going to hand the job to KBD right off the bat just yet.
I think it's Utah's to lose.
Yeah?
No.
Okay.
Gerald was like, please explain.
I wasn't sure because people have been throwing Utah in there, and I'm like,
listen, Utah's going to be fun to watch.
Yes.
We're going to have a lot of enjoyable moments. I don't know that, at least at the beginning of the season, I would say it's between Josh Okogie and KBD.
I mean, that's the assumption for sure. I think there's a lot. I do like what Gerald said about, how they kind of counteract each other in terms of what you can and can't do and which one will be better suited. And they're going to have to prove that in training camp. I feel like that fifth starter role, to be honest, is kind of wide open. I know we have focused on two guys specifically, but it could be a variety of different dudes.
Even Jordan Goodwin.
And you might even look at it from a scenario of like, okay, this player might be better in that starting five to make that starting five really, really good, but we're going to keep him on the bench because that second unit off the bench will be stronger if player A is here and we can supplement them with this person here. So kind of creating a little bit more depth. So I listen, they got so much flexibility. That's the greatest thing about this is they got a lot of depth. They got a lot of versatility. They're going to be able to have so many different options. And this obviously is not going to be the only lineup we see all season.
Right.
We're going to see a variety of different things, I'm sure, just because of injuries and players needing a day off and so on and so forth. But that's what has me excited about this season. It's not even Bradley Beal. It's not KD. It's not Devin Booker. It's everybody else. What is everybody else going to do? And how are they going to react to all this? And how are they going to gel together? Because that's going to be the funnest part of the season.
Okay, but low-key also really excited about Book and KD finding that chemistry too, because we didn't get nearly enough of it last season.
Right.
And the snippet that we saw, there were really, really fun parts, but I feel like it wasn't enough. So I'm actually still super excited to see how those two even go to the next level together.
I felt like KD could never get into a good, solid
In the
rhythm
playoffs,
all season, really.
Well,
Like
the first 8 games I mean, it doesn't really count. It's sort of the
they were
extra
8-0
season.
with him and Josh Okogie.
But it was fun.
They were, but like I just never felt like, we've seen KD. We've seen KD play at a very high level and just be efficient as hell and just be one of the great players we've seen. And I don't feel like we got like pure KD at any point in time since he got over here. And I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to him being kind of unlocked again in the system and not having to overthink or be hesitant on certain things, because he was trying to make sure that he didn't overstep his bounds from time to time. He mentioned that in several post games about like sometimes I just got to be a little bit more assertive, and that's just not KD. KD didn't do that when he was in Golden State. Don't fucking do it now. You're one of the greatest players of all time. Go. So I am looking for that kind of that bridging of the gap, if you will, and then adding in Bradley Beal to that. Which, listen, I know we watch Chris Paul do some okey doke shit with other people and make them look stupid. Bradley Beal's going to do some of the same stuff, and I cannot wait for that because there's going to be a lot of highlights.
There's honestly just a lot to look forward to with this upcoming season and this team.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah, and it's crazy because KD, we all kind of, and I think most Suns fans would agree, we didn't get like vintage KD, prime KD, and the guy still put up 29, 9, and 6.
Yeah,
people were upset with that.
Crazy.
That was the
Ridiculous.
crazy.
And I think part of it was just because Booker was playing at such an insane level. We were like, okay, when's KD going to have his game? And now we have a team that has KD, Beal, and Booker all capable of going to those heights, which is exciting.
Well, I would also say that timing. I think timing of KD's buckets also contributed to the perception that he was not playing at his high of a level, because I thought that there were stretches there where, they needed a bucket. They needed somebody to drop. And when Devin wasn't hitting or Devin was on the bench or whatever, and KD didn't come through in some of those opportunities, and that's what your eye tells you, like, oh, it's not right. You know what I mean? As opposed to like Book and KD were just both grooving at the same time. You're just like, holy shit, nobody in the world's got a chance against these guys.
Yeah.
So normally when we discuss so far, we've discussed all the newcomers or some of the newcomers to this team. Obviously, we all know Josh Okogie, but we still wanted to get another opinion on Josh Okogie. So we asked Eddie Johnson to give us his thoughts on Jo.
Josh Okogie last year, I thought was a huge surprise. I know the Suns were very excited to get him last year. And for me watching him in Minnesota, his aggressiveness, his ability to attack the rim, I definitely loved the acquisition. I knew defensively he was going to add a lot to the Suns, but I didn't know to the level he did last year. It was a total surprise for me last year. I thought he evolved as the season went along. I think he had to win his minutes. I thought he had the respect of his teammates based on what was coming out of camp and the way they were talking about him. But I think over the course of the season, that's when he started to have a serious impact on the thinking of Monty Williams and how he should play him. And so with the acquisition of KD during the course of the season, it just became obvious that he was going to play a huge role for this team with his defense, his ability to score. I thought surprised a lot of people, but you can watch him in warm-ups as I did, and I could tell that, the kid, it was just lacking confidence on his shot. He had a good rotation on his shot. He had good belief it would go in. And the consistency just had to ramp itself up. And I thought at times last year it did. But his ability to rebound, compare him a lot to Bruce Brown on the world champion Nuggets this past year. How with his size, his elevation, he's able to get in there and take rebounds away from big guys, put putbacks in, get out on the break. And then if he had the ball stuck in his hands at the end of his shot clock, he wasn't a huge liability not to be able to get his shot off. And so for me, I was thoroughly impressed. I'm glad he's still a Sun because I think his defense, his energy off the bench, or whether it's a fifth starter or whatever, is going to be huge and impactful for this team. So I expect Josh to still be in the rotation, still play a major role. Albeit more so defense, just energy on the glass and all of that. But he knows his way on this team. He knows his role, and I expect him to have a very good year.
He touched on something that was showing through in what Josh Okogie said about both sides mutually wanting to continue their relationship, and what James Jones said, both in his statement when the signing became official and to Dwayne Rankin in the interview about, his grit, intensity, athleticism are vital to the success of our team. He had a tremendous impact on our team last year in a specific role that we think can grow. So I do think that they envision, whether it's coming off the bench or in a starting role, they envision him being able to build on what he did here last year. Obviously, you would love to see him make more three-pointers, but they really like the energy he brings as a defender, the point of attack stuff, the offensive crashing the glass, all of the energy and hustle plays that he makes. And, we've talked about a couple of candidates in terms of guys that will just dunk on somebody this year. Okogie's still one of the front runners because he had the best play the Suns had all last year when he blocked Jalen Green's jumper and then took it down and dunked on a guy. Like, those are the plays that you don't expect, but you're starting to expect from him because of his athleticism and because of just the hustle that he plays with all the time.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we can't allow to just kind of go under the radar. Like, the amount of energy and hustle that he brings night in and night out.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to question that when it comes to him.
No, he is a fantastic motor, and I think he really is a James Jones type of guy. You see that in those quotes because he values that grit, that effort, that defensive ability on the bench. I think you'd love him even more if he hit threes at the pace that James Jones did, but yeah. I think he's very much the kind of guy that James likes.
Yes. You will also never question if it was the right decision or not to stop at a Circle K and get snacks and a Polar Pop. It's always the right decision to stop at a Circle K and get snacks and a Polar Pop. Also gas if you need that too. Circle K is literally my favorite place. Like, honestly, it's probably top 5. Like,
top 5 favorite
being
place?
Serious, like every day-to-day normal functions in life, it's a top 5 spot.
Okay.
For me.
I thought it was like, damn, you need to go some more places.
No.
I love Circle K.
Like
but
day-to-day. No, day-to-day. I feel like
travel the
everyone has their
world.
coffee shop. They've got their gas station, the grocery store. Like, Circle K is definitely in my top
for sure.
5, for sure.
Lindsay's top 5 are home and Circle K. Those are top 5.
That's a repeat all the way to 5.
Yeah.
One, two. Yep, exactly. Because listen, they've got premium gas, they got the best coffee, beer, snack selection, the Polar Pops again. I love those, and they always have really good deals. Right now, you can get Powerades, 4 of them for $5, and when you purchase that, you could be one of 10 finalists entered to win a 2023 Ford Big Bend Bronco SUV. They also have buy 2 get 1 free Monster Energy drinks and buy 2 get 1 free Beatbox hard tea. Like, there's always great deals at Circle K.
And they also have the Loca-Cola. So
that's facts. Make sure you are not missing out on all the great stuff that
We
Circle K
almost
has to
behaved
offer.
like Max asked
Right
us
now,
to.
text PHNX to 31310 to join their SMS subscriber club, and you're going to get a buy 1 get 1 free offer on 32-ounce Polar Pops. So head to circlek.com/store-locator to find Circle K's near you.
You know what's so weird? In my neighborhood, I have literally one like commercial entity around me, and it's just Circle K for like a 3 square mile area. So I always get my snacks at Circle K. I get all my stuff. I feel like I go grocery shopping at Circle K. It's really a bad habit.
Growing up in Chandler.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, though, is they make it so convenient because they have locations all over the place that are literally in the most convenient situations. Like, I always, no matter what, from my way home from work, home to work, I can always find a Circle K on the right side of the road. Always.
That's convenience.
But when you live in Central Phoenix and there's those middle suicide lanes where you can't make left-hand turns, it literally is life-saving.
Yeah.
The best part
I'm
is
just
it
saying.
switches the side of the street depending on
It
which way
does.
you're driving. Unbelievable. That's how convenient
The
they
technology is just
It's-
second to none.
I'm just saying.
Fun fact, growing up in Chandler, it was so convenient they had one catty corner to each other on the same intersection because that's how
care.
bad you need to get there.
They care
I'm
about
not kidding
you.
either. That's a real thing.
They care about convenience, and they care about limiting the amount of left-hand turns you have to make.
Yeah,
There you go.
They
You're
also
welcome from
care about the
Circle K.
environment, and I hear they are organically growing watermelons, Gilbert. Yeah, you're correct.
Just like Lindsay.
Just like Lindsay in her backyard.
That's right.
You know who's organically grown beer?
Who?
Four Peaks.
Yeah.
Our friends over at Four Peaks. And just like the Diamondbacks roster that was organically homegrown, they make the best beer. And they partner with the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are the official craft beer partner of the D-backs. They've got that Rattle On Red Ale, which is as smooth as Corbin Carroll's swing. And it goes down as fast as he runs the bases. It's just that great. I love me some Rattle On Red Ale. And guess what? If you're at Chase Field enjoying the Diamondbacks, hop on over. Get it? It's a beer pun.
Got it.
Hop on over to the Four Peaks draft room located on the suite level down the first base line. We love that place. It's a lot of fun. We went there for one of our takeovers. It was fantastic. So make sure you follow Four Peaks at Four Peaks Brew or Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. Don't forget, you must be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please drink responsibly.
Listen, if you are going to be outside in your garden this weekend, make sure your eyes are protected with some Shady Rays. Shady Rays makes premium polarized sunglasses. This is gear that is built to last. They are an independent sunglass company with a world-class product. They also have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. So if you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. They have your back long after you purchase, and exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use that code PHNX for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. This is where we should have pulled out our Shady Rays because Katie had some shade thrown at him today.
Oh, yeah.
By an unfortunate...
A medical professional.
Source, yeah. This was not on my bingo card. Not in any capacity would I have thought that Dr. J was going to come out and throw shade at Kevin Durant this year. I would have never had that on my bingo card.
Are we playing the clip or
But
no?
he did.
Years, and he wants to have a chance at winning the championship.
Right.
And he doesn't think he can get it there.
Right.
So that's a good reason,
Yes.
for him. But a guy 26 or 27
Hopping over.
just wanting to hop around. Look at how many times Durant has hopped around. No, for real. OKC to Golden State to where do you go after that? Now he's in Phoenix.
So you don't respect that?
I have beef with Dr. J now.
So do I. And he used to be one of my favorite players, but this is such a bad take.
So bad.
First of all, he got lucky by winning a championship towards the end of his career because he held on quite a while. He was faithful to his franchise. Like I said, he should thank his lucky stars that he got a championship. Otherwise, he'd be just like Barkley. He'd be a great one that never won one. And then you move over to, listen, you don't get to bag on KD because you're trying to reward Damian Lillard for being faithful, and faithful almost really kind of negligence. It was negligent. He should have left a long time ago. That team wasn't going anywhere. After the bubble, that was the time to go because maybe you play one more year after the bubble. And then after that, 2 years ago is when he should have said, I got to go somewhere where I can win a championship. It's not KD's fault that he had phenomenal years. He won an MVP in OKC, and he got to a certain point, and people still kept saying the stupid fucking thing that we always hear all the time. Well, he hasn't won a title, so he ain't shit. So he won a title because he was like, I want to win a title, so everybody get off my back, basically. He won 2 of them. I don't see anything wrong with that. I absolutely see nothing wrong with that. And that's such an old hoop head take. I hate it.
My biggest beef with this is he's like, look at how much KD's hopped around. He's been in the league for 17 years. Has only played for 4 teams.
Right.
Free agent when he left 2 of them. 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Only forced to trade 1 time, and it was last year.
But that's part of the problem here. Guys like Dr. J played in a league where there was no such thing as free agency, and nobody could push for a trade because players didn't have that power. So this idea of you should only play for one franchise, I love my father. He watches the show all the time, but I used to get well, why have you had so many jobs? in the
Because
first
things aren't the way they used to be.
because companies ain't gonna be loyal to me, so I'm gonna do what's best for me as an individual in a lot of places. Except here, here's
Right.
totally different.
Here's
I'm
totally
saying.
Here's
different.
totally different.
I was like,
but,
I'm stuck.
But before
You're
this,
stuck
Yes.
with me.
before I found the best
okay,
company,
let me
I
write
could
that
work
down
with.
real quick.
But it's that mentality, right? And Dr. J didn't have those opportunities. He played for 2 franchises, and one of them got absorbed into the other league, and they were forced to trade him because they didn't have enough money. So he probably would have played for the Brooklyn Nets or the New York Nets at the time his entire career if they had had the financial wherewithal. But he didn't have any choice. And I think these guys get bent out of shape because they didn't. And this is the way that it was when I was playing. So everybody should have to play by that same kind of rules if they want to win a title because it was tough for me. Well, that's great. That's not today's game.
Yeah, not to disrespect one of the all-time greats, but it is an old school take, and it's one of those things where it still continues to persist to this day, not just by the older generation. Like, there are people that have a problem with stars forcing their way to certain teams, and I understand that. I understand the want for there to be a line drawn at a certain point. Like, people are bringing up the Dame Lillard stuff now, but at the same time, nobody bats an eye when a team trades a player away,
Right.
and
It's
it could
just
be
business.
right. It could be against their will. They could have no choice in it, or they could want to go somewhere. But either way, like, nobody thinks twice about that. And like, I don't understand the coming after Kevin Durant. Like, LeBron has done the same shit. We didn't hear anything about LeBron in that. And you're not going to tell me, like, I understand LeBron going back to Cleveland and winning a title there probably bought him some goodwill, but do you think he would have gone back to Cleveland if they weren't going to get Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love on the same team? If Dwayne Wade wasn't like aging and it was pretty clear, like, okay, I'm not going to win any more titles here. Like, these guys are doing what's in their best interest, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're trying to win championships because all they hear online is about how this player doesn't have enough titles or this player hasn't broken through and won a championship. Like, you have to do everything so specifically. You have to stay with one franchise, be loyal through the highs and lows, break through, win a title. And anything outside of that, you're suddenly not doing it the right way, and it's bullshit.
But have we seen any star since the advent of free agency and that stuff that was so loyal to their team that never asked for that kind of trade? People say Kobe. They forget he asked for a trade. He almost got traded to Chicago.
The only one that I can think of is Steph Curry. Steph Curry has never requested a trade.
That's
but
fair.
again, like, Steph, you have to fall into the right situation at the right time. Steph Curry, drafted by the Warriors under Mark Jackson, played, and then they switched the whole system, and they got new leadership, and they got a new front office, and they were the aggressors, and they were trying to make Steph happy by getting key superstars like a Kevin Durant, and they also built from within. Like, it's like a series of fortunate events for Steph Curry to have that happen. We're hoping we're seeing the exact same thing here in Phoenix because Devin Booker's been here this entire time. We hope that he's going to stick it out the entire time he's here, and we're adding superstars to the mix to make sure that he feels like he's being supported and he has a chance at a title. But if we didn't get these superstars, hell, they'd be talking about Devin Booker possibly getting traded. So
they did for 6 years.
Yeah, like, it's always the next thing. Hell, the Knicks are talking about that right now. Those fuck sticks. So, like, it's just one of those things where, like, you have to fall in line at a perfect moment. If it doesn't happen, like it is with Dame, and largely for most of Dame's career, they've been playoff contenders, but they've never been serious championship contenders. And it's on him that he didn't request trade earlier, but it's also on the organization for not trying to bolster their product more to help Dame out. And now he's stuck where he is. But you don't get to bag on KD because he recognized the moment and the threshold that they were at in OKC, and him wanting to be like, you know what, I want a title. I don't feel like we're going where we need to go. I'm out. You don't get to bag on him for that.
No, and to Lindsay's point, 2 of those times he switched franchises were free agency. The other time, if you look at that mess in Brooklyn, how many people wouldn't have? I mean, Harden asked out. Kyrie wound up leaving and demanded a trade. Like, it's not as if it was all hunky-dory there and he was like, screw you guys, I'm out. No, it was a messed up situation too.
I also
So-
didn't love his remarks off the top, like when he first started answering the question, because to me it was kind of throwing shade at the player empowerment movement that we've seen in the NBA. And I am 100% on board with players making more money, having more opportunities to make money outside of basketball, whether that's just like what we talked about earlier this week with opening up another avenue of places that players can invest in when it comes to cannabis and things of that nature. Because without these players, we don't have NBA basketball.
Yeah.
Like, I wish that players back in the day, I mean, you talked about it with EJ yesterday on the show. If back in the day, players were not fairly compensated for what they were bringing to the table.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see, thank goodness, and it's been like this for a while, right? We're seeing players become more fairly compensated for what they bring to the table. The players are who we all pay, who we tune in to watch. We're not tuning in to watch an ownership group who owns a team.
To be fair, Matt Ishbia in that one Nuggets game was worth the price of
I
admission
mean,
to watch.
That
but-
game, yes, but the players, player empowerment should never be a bad thing.
No.
But it took a unique situation and a unique individual to start to change that forward. And Dr. J came in at the tail end of that. When Michael Jordan came into the league, and if you saw the movie Air, you know what we're talking about in terms of his mom having the foresight to say, no, he should get a percentage of all the shoes that were being sold instead of everybody else that was just taking the deal and the money up front for them to use their name and likeness. And it changed the whole game. And that single moment changed everything for the future of the NBA. And it really educated a lot of players like, oh shit, that's an option. And then once you've opened up the door a little bit, you start to recognize all these other little things. And that's how the whole player empowerment era really evolved over time. And unfortunately, I feel like to some degree, they've kind of limited themselves with this new CBA, and they're not going to get the flexibility that they kind of enjoyed for the past decade because of the CBA and the limitations on that and the salary structures, which is kind of ironic because I never thought that they would sign a deal like that, in my opinion. And I think that's going to be horrible for them moving forward. But in terms of marketing and all the other revenue, like Dr. J, hell, he had Converse.
Yeah,
You think
could've
he
been
made
that guy.
you think he made less than 1% of what Michael Jordan's made in his career? Not even close. Not even close.
Well, I mean, even back when Nike hit the scene, right? Like they were just offering, like, "Hey, we'll pay you $500 to wear our shoes." It was not even remotely close to what it is these days, as far as extra money that you can make on the side.
Yeah, to be fair to Dr. J, this isn't a one-time thing. He's a cantankerous individual. I've met him a few times.
Oh, he's an asshole.
and
He's a little
and
sassy.
I met
Yeah.
him with somebody in Myers Drysdale who actually is friendly with him. So I had an in, and he still was kind of cantankerous. I mean, so that's kind of this guy's MO. I think you ask him anything, you're probably going to get that kind of answer.
I met him at the Pac-12 tournament, and I was like, wow, you suck.
You know who's chilling though?
Magic was awesome, though.
Who?
Katie's chilling. Katie is not
Always.
like, he may be living rent free in somebody else's head, but Katie out here just having a great time this off season. He's been all over the place. And this photo recently came out. He's hanging out with the Washington Commanders, just taking it all in, getting ready for football
I
season.
love his shirt.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about this though, because it's Commanders Cardinals week 1. You know, he's lucky this
Oh.
game isn't in Arizona, because fans would seeing him in that gear. I wonder if they would have booed. I wonder.
No, you don't boo KD. Like Mikal Bridges was a big Phillies fan. KD's from DC. Like, let him
Yeah,
like
football-
his team.
Football fans are different though. It's not.
I mean,
it's not like
we
baseball.
did
he's a
poke
Rams
fun
fan.
at Mikal.
Mikal was a Rams fan.
Yeah, people
We
gave him
poked
shit
fun
for
at
it.
him.
Yeah, but it was more like a
It was playful,
Friendly,
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh, it could've
was
been a
very
playful.
playful.
Some people cross the line.
There are
yeah.
some people that are like, I can't believe he doesn't embrace everything Arizona. I'm
Right.
like, dude, he doesn't live here.
Right.
He didn't grow up here. Stop.
Yeah.
I don't blame. Yeah, he grew up in the Washington area. Of course he likes. I mean, that's just the way it is. So.
Yeah. We're talking about a lot of big time names in this segment. So let's keep going. Devin Booker, one of the best basketball players,
This is so
was
cool.
hanging out
It's the greatest of all time, and Michael Jordan, baby.
with Michael Jordan. We have zero context from his Instagram stories, at least
No.
that I was able to decipher.
Mhm.
But Book and MJ, they're BFFs now.
I like to imagine on the other side, it's Devin looking distraught, handing over some cash to Michael because he lost a bet. Because Mike looks real happy in that
does.
photo.
He
He
does.
looks real happy.
If I'm just tinfoil hatting here, gonna try and like stir the pot of rumors, I would like to think that because Michael Jordan has exited his ownership responsibilities recently, that maybe this is just an olive branch to come join the Suns in some capacity.
I don't know if we
Why
want him in an
not?
executive role, but I would love to
No,
have him in
not in
Phoenix.
an executive role
I'd love to have him in
necessarily.
Phoenix.
Come on, Lindsay.
I know there's a lot of
Isaiah
history
Thomas-
there.
Isaiah Thomas
I
is
know.
already here,
No.
and he and MJ hate each
Yeah,
other.
it's
So
never happened.
I
it's
mean,
gonna
that's
happen.
fair too.
Isaiah Thomas probably
fair.
saw that photo and started shaking.
Aw.
Just mad.
He's probably mad. Yeah, that's funny.
I just don't mind. I don't mind goats hanging out with each other.
No.
That's all.
His face greeting Devin Booker is anybody's face greeting Devin Booker. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it has something to do with Devin's shoe. You know, obviously MJ,
That'd be cool.
big
I mean,
Nike
maybe.
guy. I'm kind of hoping that maybe there was a little of that going
Maybe he was
on.
laughing at his last rendition of the shoe.
Damn.
You see that shit
'Cause
that
that
we?
shit was
If that's
trash.
your shoe, you suck, dude.
He's like, oh man, Air Jordan, not so much.
It's like, let me give you some pointers.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
don't know.
Devin. You took strays for no reason.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
rough.
we did throw some shades at Devin there for just a hot second. But here's the deal. This weekend, if you are looking to relax, if you are looking to maybe get some really good sleep, if you're looking for a little bit of fun, our friends over at OG's have exactly what you need. The OG's lineup is stacked. They've got the fruits and the creams assorted pack. They've got their sleep edition gummies, the strawberry and creams happy balance gummies, the lightweight friendly mini OGs. Our friends over at OG's definitely have something for you no matter what you're looking for. We highly recommend you check them out online at ogsbrands.com. You can find them on Instagram at ogsbrands, and you can also find their products at your local dispensary, but you must be 21 years or older to purchase.
Hey, Lindsay,
Hey, Espo.
folk you. Oh wait, I read it wrong. I meant Foco. I totally read that ad wrong.
Why me though?
Because we banter with the ads now.
But why me?
That's the way this works, right? I meant Foco, everybody. Come on,
Unreal.
Foco. One of
I feel
one
like
of
we're
our
stepkids right now.
I know.
one of our
Please stop
favorite
fighting.
sponsors here is
Put in
Foco.
the
They
corner.
helped us decorate the set here and in the commish, our other studio. They've got the best gear that you're looking for, officially licensed for all sports, all fandoms. Check it out. And baseball season is here. We talked about that a lot already, but they have some great shirts. I mean, the kind of shirts that Derek Montilla would wear. You know, take that how you will. All right, which are some fun Aloha shirts. They've got the straw hats, polos, bags, everything you need to go to the game, support your favorite team. They got it. And all the knickknacks and everything that you could want for sports. Foco always has our backs as Arizona sports fans, and they have yours too. Get the best gear around by visiting foco.com and using that code PHNX. For all non-presale items, you're going to get 10% off by using that code.
You made Emma cry. Emma's literally in tears
in
behind
a
her
good
back.
way or a bad
I don't
way?
know.
I can't see her.
Her
The
name's
I
back's
don't know
blocking
what's
her.
happening. She's full out tears right now.
She really, really likes Derek's shirts, and I insulted her.
No. I have like horrible allergies right now, and my eyes will not stop watering. And it's been doing this for the past 5 minutes, so I've just been crying behind the back for like 5 minutes.
That's unfortunate.
It's an emotional episode. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Espo, you know who else has really dope shirts?
Is this where you tell me to poke you too?
We do.
Oh,
We
dude.
have really
You
dope
do.
shirts here at PHNX. And if you become a diehard, you get one for free upon signing up. You also get a bunch of other perks like access to the Discord, the diehards only Discord, which has been insanity the last couple of
so
days.
fun.
It's been
Like-
wild.
Wild, but a lot of fun. You get access to diehard only articles from Espo and Gerald. You also get pre-sale and early access to
I've written
events.
4. and I get
written 4 in 2 years.
Well,
In my head, I was like, really?
Listen,
Okay. Maybe there's something I don't know.
Exclusive, okay?
You get those twice a year articles from Espo and the 3 times a week from Gerald.
Well,
She tried to throw an olive branch and it burned to the ground. That's funny.
See, this is why I'm not nice to them, you guys. Like, you can't blame me. You can't blame me for when I'm sassy on this show. Look at what I have to deal with. I try to be nice one time, and they just rip me to shreds.
I appreciate.
I feel like we're just saying, know the product.
Look, I appreciate you.
And who does write newsletters?
She gave him the headlining spot too.
Look,
Oh
Lindsay,
my God.
Lindsay,
Yes,
I
she did.
appreciate.
I literally will never say a nice thing about any of you ever again. Are you happy now?
No,
That's
Lindsay,
Are you
like
happy
a
now?
dramatic correction.
Lindsay,
I'm used to
I,
it,
You
so-
can't have your cake and eat it too,
I
Gerald.
appreciate it. My every 6 month
every day
effort to
for me.
write something deserves some credit.
He
all
really
right?
slaves for those 6 months leading up to its release.
I write one word a day for 6 months and I get there. All right.
Anyway, become a diehard. Just do it. Go PHNX.com.
Much like the show, I only write all caps though, so it's like I'm screaming. So. But by the way,
Oh my
happy
God.
birthday to John Lee in the chat. He
Happy
said,
birthday.
Happy birthday, John.
Yeah,
And you know how
happy
you can
birthday,
celebrate
John.
it?
But also, 50%
There
sale
you go.
going on right now at PHNX at the locker. So check it out. It's fun. It's free.
"Yeah,
Get yourself a birthday gift with a shirt and one of Espo's half-year articles.
my last one was like 3 months ago. So check in there. I'm halfway to the next one. All right."
Chris Paul was still on the roster in the last
So basically, moral of the story, sign up soon or else you'll miss one of Espo's articles. That's all I'm saying.
You've got 3 months. All right.
I hate all three of you, and I will probably dislike you even more after this
I am
conversation.
not looking forward to this at all.
man.
This one goes out to actually Don's Bread in the Discord, friend of the pod,
Shout out.
super homie.
The man who started the most ridiculous argument that's been going on
Yes.
for 3 days in Discord and in the office.
Yeah.
We are going to draft bread today, you guys. Yes, that's right. Bread. But the problem that we have faced over the last couple of days is coming up with a clear agreement on what counts as bread within this draft anyway.
And we ultimately decided that we never follow the rules on this draft anyway. So we're just going to let most things fly except for a
And if
select
something does
few.
pop off that we don't want to let fly, we will put it up for a vote between all five of us and majority rules.
I feel like the line is it glazed? If it's glazed, it's out. All right.
I don't know if that's a fair.
Again,
We'll vote on it.
there's an odd number of us, so that's all
Already
that
trying to
matters. Is we're
sow
going to vote on
discord.
it. All right, Emma, you came up with the random order today. What order are we drafted in?
All right. So also before we start, comments are off for these guys, so they can't see them. Lindsay, turn them off on your laptop. We are going Saul, Lindsay, Espo, Gerald. Best bread. Go Saul.
Awesome. I can't wait to come in last place. My first selection is tortillas.
Okay.
Okay, are we counting tortillas?
Yes,
We're counting tortillas.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That went a lot easier than I thought it was going
You
to.
thought you were going to be in for a fight.
I
I
thought
don't.
so too.
Tortillas is a tough one for me.
I mean, it's
Not
17th
gonna
ranked
lie.
on my list, but you can have it.
I love tortillas, but I feel like tortillas is it's tough.
They're
It's borderline.
It depends on how you're looking at it because
It's
in terms
borderline.
of what it can do with other foods, tortilla has to be near the top of the list. In terms of like just by itself, not so much. But,
I mean,
so,
that's.
it depends on how you're looking
I don't
at
think
it.
I agree with
I
that.
don't agree
Tortilla
with
all
that.
by itself, all the time. Tortilla with a little bit of butter.
With but that's not by itself. That's
But
with
I
butter.
will eat a tortilla by itself all the time. I'm just saying,
With
you could do
butter.
a tortilla by itself. You could do a tortilla with butter, and then you could add more and more and more things, and it just greater and greater and greater. But a tortilla by itself still slaps.
I don't know if I agree.
I'm with you, Saul.
Make your pick.
I think I'm gonna go King's Hawaiian rolls.
Okay.
I'll give you that. That was number one on my power rankings. So
So now he's mad.
no, I'm not mad. I think it should have gone
Okay.
there. Probably should have gone one if I'm being
I don't know.
I'm being honest here. But
It's a first round pick for sure.
so I got three that I'm debating here. I'm gonna go controversial pick. I'm gonna go banana bread.
Wow.
Is it controversial?
No.
I feel like that's a high pick.
They were arguing in this room if it counted earlier. So, granted, that was
Yes.
Sean DePaz.
That was Sean
but-
DePaz.
I'm not going to throw shade on Sean because Sean understands the spirit of what we were trying
He
to
just
talk
gave me the
about.
shrug.
The
And
spirit
his
of what
argument
you
was
and
twisted.
Sean were trying to talk about, not
his
the rest of us.
argument was twisted. I got
No.
you, Sean. All right, so I got back-to-back picks here. I'm going to go with garlic bread
Good call.
and
Garlic bread is goated.
croissant.
Okay.
So back to me. I'm going to go with a Red Lobster cheesy biscuit. I'm going very
Ooh.
specific on
Okay.
this one.
But here's the deal, like that's a good choice because don't they make like frozen versions of that now in the grocery
Mhm.
stores because so many people
Yep.
love
So
it.
I have a question about this pick.
Hmm.
Are we allowed from here on out to draft either cheesy bread or biscuits?
Cheesy bread, definitely. I think biscuit.
Biscuits
mine was
need
so
to be a
spec-
little more specific, I would say.
Okay.
Like I don't think
Like
you
how
could just
so?
say biscuits. I think it would
Why can you not say
I
biscuits?
mean maybe.
I think you could,
maybe.
excluding the biscuit I chose.
Okay.
Let's,
Or
Alright.
in addition to, I suppose.
So those are both still on the board. If
Sure.
definitely
Okay.
cheesy bread.
Sure.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with that. Okay, so garlic bread and banana bread are off the table. Does a soft pretzel count?
Yes, 100%.
Yes, it does.
All right, I'm taking a soft pretzel.
Okay.
Back to back.
Yes. You have
Yes.
back to back.
I will take pita bread
That's
Okay,
solid.
Good call.
and I will take naan.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a
Ooh.
good one too.
Going a little international with the picks. I like it.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go focaccia.
Well, you know
Ah.
you know what I'm noticing?
Mad at you.
Saul likes flat
So
bread.
good.
Focaccia's great.
That's literally one of the best breads.
It absolutely is.
It's so soft, and when you toast it, it gets real nice and
Yes.
crunchy on the outside, but it stays super
It's
soft on the
perfect for
inside.
Italian sandwiches.
All of the different like seasonings that you can.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
It's
so
a great.
good.
It's a great
So
pick.
It's me now, right?
Yes.
It's you now.
Yeah.
I'm going Olive Garden breadsticks because
Okay.
I could eat those instead of a meal at that place.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's a good choice.
Let's see here. Are we allowing toast?
I feel like you gotta pick a type of bread, like white wheat, whole wheat,
Okay.
rye, sourdough, and then
Okay.
you can add toast to that end of that. But I think you have to pick a style, right?
Yeah, because
I do not think that you can take toast. I think you can take a type of bread. If you want to add toasted,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
But I
because
don't think
toast
that-
isn't a type of bread.
It's
It's
a
just
I
a
mean,
way
It's the
to.
way you cook a piece
Yeah.
of bread.
I mean, a lot of the things on here are not a type of bread, but it's the way you prepare it. Like it's the way you cook it.
Well, here you're outnumbered anyway because Emma,
I mean, that's
Espo,
fair.
and Lindsay
Yeah.
3-2. Even if Saul did vote for
I'm
you,
just poking
I
holes
didn't
in
say
your-
anything.
She just
Isn't
went
isn't
through
garlic
words.
bread
No,
just toast with
I'm
garlic?
saying
I'm
if you
not
were
voting
to-
on either way.
Isn't
I'm
garlic
just
bread
saying
just
if
toast
you
with
were
garlic?
to.
It's literally just toasted bread
who
with
asked
garlic.
Jacob
Yeah, I
on
don't know
that?
why Jacob's piping in at
Because
all.
I'm watching.
Because I'm watching.
Because I'm
he
watching.
says. Okay. Well, then I will go Italian bread and let's go brioche.
Great choices.
Okay, that's delightful.
I can't tell if you meant that or if you were being sarcastic.
No, brioche is
Okay.
delightful.
Okay, good.
It is.
I was like, are we going to have to fight about brioche bread? 'Cause
It's so good.
I don't want to do it, but I will.
Am
No.
I right in this sourdough still on the board?
It
It is.
Yeah, give me a nice sourdough.
I'm not a huge sourdough.
I'm not
person.
either.
Like, I don't think it's bad. It's just not one that
Sa-
I would pick first, obviously.
Sourdough is elite.
Top 5. Top
It's
5.
good.
Elite.
Top 5 is
Top 5.
no, that's high.
I'm going to go cornbread.
Mm,
I love cornbread.
Okay, cornbread's good.
cornbread.
Specifically, like, if we wanted to go specific, the blue Jiffy box.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's
So
where you got.
Good.
Yeah.
Milk and 1 egg. Best cornbread of all time.
Sorry, I'm still
Like, it's
getting
just so
over
good.
his. It's the mic.
Back to back?
Back to back. These are your last two, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Pancake.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Here's where we're getting chaotic. What's the
Okay.
vote, you guys? What's the vote?
I'm going to say nah.
No shot.
I'm going to say yes because I don't want to break Saul's flat bread run he's got going on here. Because this is the strategy he's going
unleavened bread.
Next is cracker from Saul. That's going to happen.
Fine. Hey, if you guys don't like it, that's fine.
Why, what's the argument against pancake here?
It's batter.
I would call it more of a batter
Instead
than
of
a okay. I feel
Instead
like
of a dough. All right.
Okay. Pizza crust.
Okay. I'll
Any
give you that
specific?
one. That one I will give you.
I'm so mad at you for drafting that.
Why? Why are you mad at him for drafting pizza crust?
Because we just talked about it before the show, and I made the joke. If you want to draft pizza crust, go ahead. Like, I don't.
Hey,
but pizza crust can be good. No, some pizza crust is super bomb.
And it's flat. What's your last flat bread pick? I need to know now.
My last flat bread pick is money.
Money.
Boo.
Get that bread.
Get that
bread, baby.
You know what?
Jacob.
I'm gonna allow it.
I kind of fuck with that shit.
No.
I kind of fuck with that shit. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna count that shit.
None of you can ever give me shit for a dad pun ever again if we're allowing this.
If Lindsay,
this is sanctimonious.
Do we not remember when we were doing chicken nugget drafts and she selected McDonald's chicken nugget with 5 different sauces?
We didn't do a draft. We did a rank and file. And I told you ahead of time, I have not had chicken nuggets from 5 different establishments. And you said, figure it out. So I freaking figured it out.
I'm giving Saul the
I
win
will
on
not
this.
take
My other
this slander about chicken nuggets again.
My other alternative today was to draft 5 different white breads from 5 different brands.
I thought that was going to be Lindsay's.
But I decided against it.
You should have done it, Saul.
So I went a different route.
You should have done it. Listen, I'll allow money. I'm fine with it. I think it's funny. Everyone's saying if cornbread counts, then money should count.
I'm so
too.
mad
Lindsay
because Jacob
fucking
made that
Smith.
joke when I walked in about our bread draft. And I was like, no, if I made that joke, they'll crucify me. And now Saul is
But he
closing with it.
drafted. He didn't make a joke. It was a serious pick from Saul. It fit his strategy.
All right, everything's flat.
We're allowing
All right,
money.
so this is my last pick. Gosh, there's so many good ones still that are on the board.
There are a lot.
I'm just going to list off a couple, and you two will just have to deal with that. So left on my board, I have Sonoran hot dog bread because it's always so good.
That's a hot dog bun.
But the bun, the bread, the hot dog bun for Sonoran hot dogs are so good.
It's the same as any other
You just
bun.
No,
made
it's
Sean
not.
so accepting.
No, it's not.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I don't
We're
know.
not doing
I'm
that.
not doing that. No,
my
there's a
issue.
different type of
Joker.
bread for Sonoran hot dogs. Anyway, the Texas Roadhouse rolls,
Those are
the
good.
rolls from Golden Corral,
Do we still have picks?
KFC biscuits,
Yeah,
and pumpkin
I still have
bread
one
are all
pick.
still on my
Okay.
list.
That was like 2/3
I'm gonna
of my
do
list too.
The Texas Roadhouse rolls.
That's a good
You have
one.
to go that
Yeah.
one.
Those are good. All right, Espo.
All right.
What's your final one?
Does French toast count?
I was gonna pick that
No,
one
if
too.
I had
pancakes
it
don't
on-
count, then French toast can't count.
I had it on my big board.
Hold on.
Fudge, but
because
French
it's
toast, you
actual
actually
bread.
make it out of bread. No, that's a tough one. You're right.
I think
it
French
counts.
toast counts.
French
think it
toast counts.
Then French toast it is.
Good closing pick.
French it up.
I was torn between bagels because it was the source of this whole argument even starting, and it feels weird that we're not going to draft it at all.
I think it's karma, Don's bread, that we don't draft that shitty ass bread.
that we
What?
fought over this for days and ultimately
Yes.
didn't make our
Well,
top
I
20.
will throw shade his way.
Hold
That
on.
was a terrible suggestion.
None of us
it
said
wasn't.
top
It wasn't
25.
Don's bread.
Oh,
He didn't
Is
bring
he
it
even
up.
gonna say that?
No, it was Sean.
No.
Sean
No.
started.
In the
Don's
Discord.
bread said something about I don't remember, something about liking bread. I sarcastically ranked my top 5 breads, and we started
Yeah, that's
chaos in the
Right,
Discord.
but the conversation of if bagels should or should not count as a draftable item within the bread draft came directly from Sean. He was just trying to get context on where the line was.
And none of us said it was a top 25. It was just a
I
debate
didn't
on whether
say
we
it.
should
It
use
was.
it.
He just said that he didn't think bagels should be allowed to be drafted. That's all.
I just wanted to throw some shade Don's way. So there you go.
all right. So I'm down
Don
to
just catching
I'm down
strays.
to bagels. I'm down to donuts, and I'm down to.
Oh, hold on. We said donuts was
you
the line
said
of not.
donuts. You said
Donuts
that.
is no for me.
Wait, a no
you
for
can't
me.
shoot it down until they draft it.
But I thought we had this discussion before.
I
Why
thought we
is
did
donuts
too.
not bread? It's literally bread
It
with
literally is
glazing on
bread
top.
with glaze.
I put
It's
it more
bread
in
with
a
a hole in the middle.
pastry category.
Pastries are bread.
There's
But
bread and
I-
pastries.
I said
Again-
glaze was for me, glaze was the delineation.
But you
line
put
there.
fucking butter over the top of a
yeah, you put all kinds of
put
shit on
butter
French
on all
toast.
this
Put all
shit.
kinds of shit on French toast.
Yeah.
That's still bread.
No, I actually eat it without anything on it, quite frankly. I
Ma-
do.
You can make
No
your
But
lie.
you still put it in a different batter to make it taste
Well,
different.
that's fair. But look,
It
That's
doesn't
up to
matter.
you,
That's a
Gerald.
glaze.
It
You
doesn't
take
matter.
it.
I'm going
I'll
with
allow
fry
it.
bread. The correct answer
Okay,
is
that
fry
is
bread.
Fry
anyway.
bread was
That's a good
a
call.
good one too that I feel like was missed.
You know what? I think you guys know what monkey bread is, right?
Yeah.
I think that was a good one. We all left.
I
on-
agree,
on
but
the
I feel
board.
like I don't reach for it unless
Yeah.
it just happens to be like there.
Yeah, but then you can't stop eating it if it's there. Like
I
that's it's
suppose,
that
but
good.
like
When have you ever
I'm
been
never
like,
craving
I can really
it.
go for a good monkey bread?
Yeah.
right now it sounds really good.
I feel like I never crave it. It's just if somebody happened to have had it at a function, then I'll eat a little bit. That's sort of the vibe. Okay, so Saul has tortillas, pita bread, naan, pizza crust, and money. You might win this one for the first time ever in
my
your entire
God.
life.
That'd be
Saul.
funny if I won this.
For the
and I
first time
just the
ever
one you
in your
totally
life.
did not care about.
I have King's Hawaiian roll, soft pretzels, focaccia, olive. No, wait. I put that on the wrong one. That one's Espo's. Cornbread and Texas
Wait.
Roadhouse rolls.
You did get focaccia.
No, you did
No.
get focaccia.
The Olive Garden breadsticks I was about to read. That was Espo's.
Oh, gotcha.
Espo has banana bread, lobster red cheesy biscuit, Olive Garden breadsticks, sourdough, and French toast.
Red Lobster, not Red Robin.
Lobster, yeah. I've
Um,
never eaten a Red Robin biscuit, but they ain't as good as Red Lobster.
That could make all the difference.
It really could, though.
People are gonna
It
look at
really
that like,
What's
could.
with this guy?
Red Robin has biscuits? Dude, we gotta go tonight.
And then Gerald has garlic bread, croissant, Italian bread, brioche, and fry bread.
I feel like you drafted two of the same thing in garlic bread and Italian bread because
No.
Italian bread is the basis of that garlic bread.
They're
What's the
different
difference
You're
between
things.
Italian or
There's
show.
different
Educate
things.
me and tell me what the difference is between garlic and Italian bread.
Italian bread is without the garlic. Garlic bread is Italian bread with a garlic butter brushed on the top of it.
So it's basically the difference between a snoring hot dog bun and a regular hot dog bun. It's just the difference of what's inside,
Yes.
right?
What'd you say?
What?
I tuned you out.
It tuned you out.
Awesome.
MCG
Oh,
Blue.
no.
Red Robin biscuits are just hamburgers.
Oh man. Oh,
Ooh.
Texas toast.
Texas toast.
Oh.
That is a misfire for
That,
sure.
that one for
Damn.
sure.
It's
We
pretty-
left that one
Yeah,
off.
that's a good one.
Isn't that
Liz-
just two slices of white bread?
No,
cut?
you need to
No,
stop.
no, not
We
even.
did. So Leo did send us a super chat and said, "Do you guys think a hot dog is a sandwich?" Without going into full on like war, you want to give like a generic and like a basic answer?
Yeah,
here?
you want a basic answer? No, it's not.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not.
Fucking no.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I feel like a hot dog is its own
Yes,
separate
It's a
category.
hot dog.
Yes.
You never asked for a hot dog sandwich.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like it's its own
What kind of
thing.
sandwich do you want? Oh, I'll take a hot dog.
I'll take a hot dog.
No.
No, I
Yeah.
meant like a real sandwich.
That's
I mean,
at the
there's
food
not even
stand.
real
Wow,
meat
look
in
at
it,
us
so-
finally for one time ever agreeing on something.
We
All
came
four of
together
us.
at the end of the show.
It took long enough, right? Who'd have thought?
I love that nobody
Nobody knows.
Context
Nobody
why we
knows
do
what
this.
this is.
And it's going to stay that way.
Oh, the shit that happens to people.
The hand signs
I think
come
we
back.
should
but
post
not the
this
meaning.
one, just because it's so ridiculous.
We should post all of them, but yeah.
And you guys can vote on Twitter who you think drafted the best bread. I'm actually really excited for you, Saul, because I genuinely feel like this might be your best chance at winning one.
No.
I'm going to die laughing if it's the draft that he cares the least about.
It's just not going to happen. I come in last every
Might
single draft.
be, though.
Every
No,
single
look,
draft.
It really
Our
might
names
be.
are on this, so
Yeah, so
some
I'm definitely coming
combination
in
of
last.
Lindsay and
Well,
Gerald
to be
will
fair,
win.
last time we took the names off and you still came.
Exactly.
No, but I won, and that rarely happens if my name's on it,
Yeah.
if ever.
Yeah.
So the way this will go is one of you two will be first, the other
Mhm.
one will likely be second, and Saul and I will be battling it out for the bottom.
That's how it happens every single time.
Like, I can't.
It's not my fault we're
Be
popular.
better.
It's like our hopes have been flattened like Saul's list of breads.
Yeah,
Yes.
I went Mean Girls.
Yeah.
You heard that.
I just ignored it.
Okay, thank you guys for joining us on this Friday afternoon. We hope you guys have a super awesome weekend. We'll be back on Monday at 3 p.m. with a show for you. And until we see you then, be sure to give the show a follow on Twitter at PHNX_Suns. You can also follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourget. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
I'm just going to give a toast for my sign off. Whatever you want can be bread. Enjoy your weekend. Ahoy, ho.
Control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always rep the family. Rally in the valley like Dan G, no plan B. Always on